we would have been here without you. It's important to pick the correct partner.
Okay, Bozhidar, listen, first of all, thanks so much for joining me here today, okay? In terms of what I wanted to run through first with you is just touching on the results that you've actually had with Adon. We're going to talk about the experience in general, but when it comes to results, in terms of what your expectations of your ROAS would be and where your ROAS actually ended up being once things started to click. Could you just talk to me a little bit about maybe what you were experiencing before and then after things started to click?
So prior to things starting to click, we were seeing a lot of fluctuations in daily results. Everything was going just mad. Some days were good, some days were bad, but on the let's say on the average, on the biggest part of it was just days going bad,
Yeah.
going um, yeah, not going as we wanted to, because everybody in our business is striving for ROAS of 2.5. Of course, that's ideal, but when
Hmm.
you have a good backend setup and everything is going smoothly in the backend, and you ensure that you are navigating with your suppliers in the best way possible, meaning that you're negotiating the best prices, their delivery times are okay, etc., etc.
Hmm.
Because working with you doesn't mean that we stop doing anything on the store.
Yeah.
So given that the backend is okay, we can ensure that scalability is appropriate at a ROAS that is sufficient and can be below 2.5. So we were seeing a ROAS of around maybe 1.8, 1.9 before we started working together. And now, as we have been working with Adon for quite some time, we see stable ROAS, especially after you set it up, target ROAS at a certain budget. We've been seeing a ROAS consistently between 2.2 and 2.5, which for us is profitable nonetheless. Like everybody would be striving to go for 2.5 plus, but that doesn't happen for all of the accounts, mainly because this has to do with the products that we pick, the products that we test.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're
Exactly.
experiencing very good results. ROAS has been stable, budget has been spending quite smoothly, so everything has
Okay.
been
That's
cool.
fantastic to hear, man. And it's really good to hear from your experiences as well, especially having gone from having such fluctuations and such low ROAS to finally turning that corner and getting to a point in which you're profitable, because that's the main thing for you, you know, and all of the store owners that we manage here at Adon, our goal is to grow with you. So when you talk about having stable ROAS at 2.2 to 2.5, obviously our experiences have seen days where we're at 300% and some days it might be 230 and 270 and so on. There is always going to be fluctuations when it comes down to scaling, but I'm really glad to hear that you've had a profitable experience. And at what point did you kind of feel like the account had turned a corner? How long did you feel as though it took you guys to turn that corner, and at what point was that?
I think for us is the niche that we picked at the beginning. I really enjoyed working with you and your team. We were testing different things, so it's our niche that we picked was we wanted to ensure that we are selling high quality products to our customer, which
Hmm.
meant more expensive products. Not many competitors are selling those products,
True.
but then we tested that strategy with our store and the way we have built the store around this particular niche, and it didn't pick up for us.
Hmm.
But what I enjoyed with the Don was that you pretty much tried everything. So there were different creatives, different strategies, target roles, no target roles. You were
Exactly. Yeah.
doing everything in terms of what could be done when setting up a campaign and running on Google. So that
Hmm.
is something that uh, like this is something that stood up for me as something that I would like from my partners when I work with them to ensure that
Yes.
trying everything to the best of their abilities to achieve what we're trying to do.
Hmm.
We saw that sincerely didn't work for us,
Yeah.
which was a bit sad. But
Of
then
course.
you came over, you picked up. We started scaling in a very short period of time. We were and still seeing positive results on daily basis. We're
Hmm.
seeing budget being spent, etc.
Yeah.
And we still see that you're doing daily optimizations. You send us
Yes.
daily reminders every time that you change something. We are aware of what you're doing. You're not
Hmm.
hiding your strategies
Yeah.
from us, which is something that we also appreciate as we're trying to learn what exactly goes on in the
Hmm.
background when you're doing optimizations and
Hmm.
when trying to work. We've never experienced that before. Having a partner that constantly updates us, always is on point, always make sure that they're letting us know that something is not working, some products that we need to take out, some other research that we need to do, and products that we need to include on the website.
Yeah,
And as we've been working together, I think you have also grown in what you are doing as well as
yeah,
Adon, and you understand more what is going on with this kind of stores. We have also grown as well in the meantime, understanding how to kill products, how to find products,
yeah,
and
exactly.
profitable results over time. So that
Hmm.
has been great.
That's even more fantastic to hear, man, because you've experienced it all. You know what I mean? Like you've experienced starting with the stores that you've had a little bit of a struggle at the start, which all stores have at the beginning, and it can be quite difficult for store owners to have that belief through that period. So I think that kind of it portrays obviously the trust that you've had in us, and then the trust that we can repay back to you is in those constant communications, the updates of how we're doing things, why we're doing things. So you're learning in the meantime as well, so that you're not just sitting in the background hoping, you're actually more so understanding of the process as opposed to yeah, just waiting for something to click. And the thing about us here at Addon is we really try to work with you and be proactive with you, and nothing works unless you're proactive with us as well. And when you have two people that are working, one on the store side and one on the media buying side, from our point of view, it's always going to get to a point where it works. It's just a matter of when then. So it's great to hear your experiences on that, man. Um, just from your experience with, for example, and the store that we've scaled to the level that it is now, what did that look like for you? In terms of, did it happen gradually? Did something just click straight away? Or did you notice it slowly started to click and the optimizations that were being made were slowly increasing the ROAS over time?
Yes, I think that some agencies, from what I've heard, especially in the field that we're working in, some agencies they take your account and they try to scale you as fast as possible without having actual stability and without ensuring that that scalability could be handled by the client. We
Mm,
have had numerous conversations with you about cash flow, whether we have any issues, whether supplier is on point, etc., etc., and
yeah,
you have made sure that that scalability is actually achieved.
yeah,
And overall, we have had very stable and very consistent results, a lot of profitable days. We have managed to do that not at the expense of our cash flow, and we getting banned from the payment providers that we have, but
yeah,
we have done that in a way that is sustainable, that is
yeah.
stable, that is
Long
uh,
term.
long term as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
this, this
Fantastic.
this is the experience that I have had from. It has been like sometimes, as always, when you're a business owner, you would want your store to scale to 1 million in 1 month and be able to handle that. But as we have seen over time, that sometimes might be impossible. So the best thing to happen in those kind of situations is to make sure that you have a partner that is very open with you and can tell you, okay, uh, we're not going to achieve 1 million this month,
Yeah,
but at least we are going to make sure that you are making profit, and when the time comes and you have everything set up in your structure, then you can be sure that when achieving those days it could actually go long term, because
exactly. Yeah,
most of the stores they reach those numbers and they might reach them in 6, 8, 9 months, but then they close in 1 or 2 months because they can handle it, a lot of customer complaints, payment provider,
exactly.
etc., etc.
Exactly. Yeah, and the thing about it is, to build a long-term store with dropshipping, a lot of people have this constant worry of their stores going down or them losing or a suspension from Google, and things are getting more difficult that way, you know? And the thing that we always try to make sure is above board as well is your website, everything is actually eligible and efficiently set up to the point where when you hit that scaled level, you don't have any worries of the store going down then, and you know that it is a long-term scenario. So that's fantastic to hear as well, man. I appreciate you saying those kind words. Right, next of all, I'm going to talk to you about just your general experience at Add-on. What might set us apart from other agencies that you've experienced, if you have had that experience, and specifically. let's touch on the communication that you feel with Adon. How do we keep you updated with what's happening, and how do you feel trusted or trusting of our optimizations on a weekly and daily basis?
I do believe that you're very proactive in that, and that you have taken it very seriously, because most of the agencies, they have also regular updates. It's normal to update your client on what
Yeah.
is going on with their account, but they do it maybe twice a week
Mm.
or times a week. With you, we have constant communication. We know which products are not doing well.
Yeah.
We suggest that they get removed. You suggest that some are getting removed. And we have this daily communication between each other. You're very responsive, Adon, as well, when it comes to everything related to paying the invoices, issuing the invoices. Everything
Yeah.
is run smoothly.
Yeah.
When it comes to onboarding new stores, closing old stores, everything is
Hmm.
also smooth. Everything happens fast.
Hmm.
Um,
And do you ever feel non-understanding of our communication with you? Like, is there ever times where we might explain something to you badly, or you're not really sure as to what we mean by something? And if so, how have we handled that?
I think we have handled that relatively well. Like, we have had those conversations where we would have monthly catch-ups, but whenever necessary, you have also taken the time to have more than a monthly catch-up.
Yeah.
So you've taken the time to have a conversation with us and explain. For example, we were worried about target ROAS for a very long period of
Yes.
time. You took the time, you sat down, you went beyond the 30 minutes that were planned for the session, just to
Yeah.
make sure that understanding what is going on, we are understanding
Yeah.
what a target ROAS does, when does it update, etc., etc. So that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
really nice. And I think Adon
Fantastic.
has done, and you, in the face of Adon, you have done a very nice job into making sure that everything is understood
Yeah, I
and
appreciate
everything
you saying that.
well communicated to the client. Because if the
Yeah.
client doesn't, they're thinking, okay, yeah, if we put target ROAS, then the campaign won't spend, so I won't make
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
And then,
I think that's
yeah,
another side to it. We've challenged each other as well, and that comes back to the proactivity. Like, the beauty of a collaboration when it comes down to building a store together is a lot of people don't understand that much. And for that reason, they just accept that. Whilst with you guys, you've always suggested things with me. And all those times, whenever we've received those suggestions, I love having the conversation with you in which you're not understanding and you're pushing your side. I'm pushing my side to make you understand. And it always ends up being a positive result because both of us have learned the two different point of views, and we always come to the same conclusion because of that level of communication, which I think really works for us as well.
yeah, and it has worked very well over the long period of time as well.
Yeah.
Like, when we started working together, we started to have a more closer relationship.
Yeah.
Only Not only as well as on client kind of business
Yeah,
relationship, but also I think we have managed to have a more personal relationship as
for
well, as
sure.
strong.
Yeah.
Uh, Texted about different things, also concerning not only concerning that accounts, but
Yeah.
also concerning daily activities, etc.
For sure,
So
yeah, and I love the fact that you've touched on that because that's important for not just me but Adon as a whole to kind of understand each of our clients' situation. A lot of other agency experiences can feel quite transactional.
yeah,
They're just almost another store with another form of income for them. Was for us, we want to see you guys grow. We want to see your cash flow grow, and for that reason, the effort that we put in to ensure that you feel that way. I hope that you do feel that positive effect because, yeah, it's something that we really try to work on with you as well.
yeah.
Um, Lastly, I want to just talk about the awareness that we're trying to create at Add-on is that of which allows for people who are experienced to jump on board with us, and also for people who don't have that much experience and are willing to learn to be able to feel free to contact us and outreach us as well. And based on that, I'd just like to ask you, being someone that has 2 to 3 stores now and are working on more stores as well, possibly in the future, what would you say to someone who's kind of just starting out and thinking about whether to run Google Ads?
I would say definitely do that, and definitely make sure that you have a partner that is gonna explain you how things work. Because, like, when you watch those gurus online and you try to set up a campaign for yourself, and you're thinking, because you're making a couple of sales, that you can sustain that for a longer period of time and scale your store to the moon just from your basic understanding and just from a YouTube video that is 10 minutes of how
Yeah.
to set a Emacs campaign.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't become a victim of that thinking. Make sure
Hmm.
that when you're starting a store, and especially if you have the cash flow to do it, make sure that you find yourself a good partner to work with. And Google Ads, you can scale very fast as well. It is
Hmm.
based on product per product basis. So product is everything that you do. It's not about the creatives. It's not about tricking the customer into doing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Customers that go on your store are already the customers that have the intention to buy, but make sure that you're leveraging that intention to the best of your abilities by finding a partner that can actually help you out and
Yeah.
understands what is going on and can optimize your campaigns at any time. So I
Yeah.
think it's important for somebody that's starting, especially into Google, to find an agency that can support and help him out.
Okay, I appreciate your detailed explanation on that, and I completely agree. It's not just advertising at sometimes, sometimes we might notice the stores don't take off as well, and it's nothing to do with the optimizations that we're making or the domain that you have, for example. It will always come down to the back end as well, and we love being able to partner with people and explain how to best set up things in the back end, how to have proper product feeds set up to ensure that your quality is high and therefore you have no reason to not actually succeed. So yeah, it's a very good point from your side as well, Bozhidar. I have a couple of more questions, okay? One of which should just resolve with a small answer. Say, for example, someone then who's a little bit more experienced and they understand what they're doing with Google Ads and media buying, and they've been in this drop shipping space for quite some time, and they're getting to a point at which they're hitting that ceiling that's very known. You get to a point where you just can't scale past that. Could you just explain how you would approach that, and your way of resolving that, and what your next step would be if you've reached that ceiling with another agency?
I think the best approach would be to um, I'm very I'm very keen on loyalty with partners. So if you have tried really with your agency, nothing is working, you have been sitting down with them, you have been planning something, you have been trying to make sure that everything that you scale to the moon, etc., etc. You can use the
Mm,
terms that,
yeah,
uh, and you can pass that barrier just for one reason or another. But you have tried everything with the agency that you have been working with. I would suggest go to another agency, test it out, no bad feelings.
hmm,
Adon is a place to start to if you're coming from another agency. You're going to be treated in a very good way in the sense that from day one, people are going to sit down, they're going to make sure that they're analyzing your accounts, they're going to make sure that they're testing new asset groups and different strategies.
mm,
They're going to make sure that if something has been missed by your previous um, by the previous agency that you have been working with, they're going to make sure that it's being tested and it's working. And if it's not working in the niche that you have picked,
yeah.
just scale beyond what you are currently at,
Mm.
then you have to accept that and move on.
Yeah, I understand that, man, and it's a good point. And whilst you touch on loyalty there as well, you have to think about your store's growth as well. When you get to that ceiling, and for example, if you haven't been able to get past it, of course, other options are available to you. And the reason why, obviously, I'm a little bit biased in saying this, but the amount of employees that we have here, and the media buyers, and the whole back end technical team, software developers team, GMC team that we have there to ensure that any issues that aren't as clear to see, which most agencies won't find. That's what we kind of pride ourselves here on at Add-on, based on the fact that we always can find the reason as to why you can't get past that level. And that can mean the difference between 1K spend days and 5K spend days. So it's a very important point that you've just touched on. Finally, Bozhidar, if you had to give one reason why you'd recommend working with us, what specifically would that be, or would there be a couple of things that you'd mention?
Based on our conversation, I think I will definitely have two pointers, and one is just client customer relationship. It feels strong. It feels well informed. It feels stable as well because like at some point you might see that when you're working with an agency, people just go rogue and like
Yeah.
you're performing well and people are just starting to texting stuff and they're leaving the agency, or the agency is
Mm,
firing back and the communication is poor and nobody knows what is going on. I
hmm
think we've never experienced that with them before. No matter how many stores we have tested with them, no matter how how much time we have been working together, because right now I think we've been working for over a year now,
hmm
maybe
Yeah.
maybe a bit. But I have seen this customer relationship just being the best that I have ever experienced, and I think this is something very important when you're looking for a partner, especially running your ad campaigns, because in dropshipping business, this is everything. Your half of the business model, half of it is setting up a good website and make sure your backend is correct. The other
Yeah.
half is having a partner that can scale your store to the moon,
Yeah.
and this is very important, very important. And I
Yeah.
can't under how much time you have spent on the account. I can't. Um, I won't do it justice if I say that um, we would have been here without you. So
Mm,
this is something that it is important to have, and it is important to think about, and it's important to pick the correct partner. And the second one is um, just stability. Like I mentioned before, is because people think that if you're getting higher revenue, that definitely means that your business is booming, which is
mm,
never the case.
mm.
Revenue revenue doesn't mean jack shit. If you have 20 million revenue but you're not making any profit, you're just burning
Doesn't mean
yourself.
anything. Yeah.
So the important thing is that if you want to have a business long term and you're not here just to make quick bucks, Gadon can help you in that. Gadon is a very good partner to have long term, just because they're gonna think about your business. Like I said, their tier pricing model is based on long term stability. The way that they're approaching the account with the target ROAS and everything, it's just focusing on stability. So the two things that I would say is customer satisfaction and customer loyalty and customer relationship. These are three things, but they sum up in one thing. And
Yeah.
then the other one is just stability and make sure that you have business that your family can one day maybe profit from it as well,
Yeah.
or enjoy perks of it.
Yeah, no, it's a great point, and it's probably the two things that we really emphasize when people are even thinking of joining us here at Add-on is yeah, that communication style that we have, that care that we have for each client, and yeah, the level of stability that we can bring them when it comes down to actually getting that store to the next level, which can yeah, for a while feel like it might be a little bit far away, but as you say at the start of the call, once you get there, you can really notice that, and that combined with the communication makes for a perfect relationship and collaboration and yeah, business growth. All
Yep.
right. Listen, Bojita, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today, okay? I look forward to our future collaborations and yeah, you have a good evening, okay?
Thanks, man. You too.
All right, appreciate it.